Good afternoon, boys and girls of 4NC. This is Mr. C back at you, also known as Big C. And today we are going to be talking about partial products. Partial products. All right, let's get right into it. What is this business about partial products, you say? Well, let's first get our vocabulary straight. Let's get the language understood. When I say product, what I mean is the answer to a multiplication problem. If I were to say the word sum, S-U-M, that would be the answer to an addition problem. But products, we're talking about multiplication. And you see this word partial here. Well, do you recognize any part of that word? Hint, hint. Yes, hopefully the word partial, the word part, looks familiar. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're taking a multiplication problem like, let's say 74, and we're going to multiply that by a one-digit number of 5. Okay? So what we're doing is we're looking for the product. We're looking for the answer to this multiplication problem. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually split this into two separate parts, and then we're going to put those parts back together. Normally, usually, if we split it into the right parts, we can put the parts back together in our minds, which is really, really cool. So, just like new addition, we're not going to start doing this problem in the lowest place value. So we're not going to start by adding or doing 5 times 4. We're actually going to start at the highest place value and work our way from left to right, like we read a book. Okay? So this is the digit 7. But it doesn't represent the number 7. This digit, it's in the tens place, so this digit 7 represents the number 70, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply 70 times 5. Now, wait a minute, 70 times 5, I don't know what the heck that is. Yes, you do. Think of it this way. If you know what 7 times 5 is, then you know what 70 times 5 is. If 7 times 5 is 35, well, then 70 times 5 must be 35 with a 0 added onto it, or the number 350. Okay, so that's kind of a nice little trick. That's a way to think about it. All right? So 70 times 5 is 350, and we're going to add that to the product of 5 and 4. Okay, remember the product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So what is 5 times 4? Can you guess it? Do you know your times tables? It's 20. So look what we've done here. We have taken this multiplication problem and split it into two parts. Now, if you're anything like me, I can do 350 plus 20 in my head pretty quickly. Do you know the answer already? You got it. It's 370. That's pretty cool. You want to try another one? Let's try another one. Let's say we're doing 48 times 4. Okay? Partial products. We're going to start from the left, the highest place value, and work our way right. Okay? So this is the digit 4. However, it represents the number 40. So first we're going to do 40 times 4. Okay, 40 times 4. Well, let's use that little trick. I know what 4 times 4 is, and 4 times 4 is 16. So if 4 times 4 is 16, 40 times 4 must be 16 with a 0, 160. Good. Now we're going to add that to the product of 8 and 4. Well, what is 8 times 4? If you know your times tables, you'll know that that is 32. And again, we've split this up into two parts, and now we combine the two parts. 160 plus 32. For some reason, I can do this in my head fairly quickly, and I hope you're getting quick at this as well. 192. All right? So that's partial products. Really cool way to do any two-digit number times a one-digit number. Splitting it into two parts and then putting those parts back together. Practice, 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 because it will be on this Thursday's assessment. Thank you very much for listening. This is Mr. C, over and out.